Hello and welcome to my tutorial again. Today I'm going to show you how to make a rainbow. The rainbow in the sky never looks like this. So let's make a real one. First of all, the colors and their HTML codes, and there they are. And let's do it. First, go to the circle tool and do a big circle like that. Now now name it red. And there you are. Now what you do is select the whole circle and scale it down 7 times. You use the scale tool in the toolbox for that. Okay, now you have 8 layers in the panel section, but they are all named red because you just duplicated the red. So we now change the color. The one next to red is orange. So, but where is the orange circle? It is under the red. What happened was, every time we duplicated, well, we did 7 times, each circle was going below each other. You click on the up or down arrows to move the selected layer above or below the neighboring layer. And there's the orange brought up. And do the same to all the layers. And now remember, we made 8 circles instead of the 7 colors of the rainbow. I named the last circle blank because we are going to cut it off later. So at the end it looks something like this. Now the width of each color we made is too wide for the diameter of the rainbow we made. So we have to reduce the width of each color. First, choose orange and use the scale tool and scale outwards, which makes the red part of the rainbow thinner. And do the same thing to all the colors. And it will look something like this. Now what you do is group them all and call it a rainbow. Now we can play around with the handles and the buttons to get the shape and the size and the part of that circle we need for our rainbow. Right, now once you are satisfied which part of that rainbow we need, go to cutout tool and cut say that bit. Now if you go to our rainbow layer and open it, there is a layer called mask which is now created by the cutout tool itself. And when you click that, you get all those tangents. So play around with that and get only the bit we want. And the position of a rainbow on our screen will be that. Now that we have our rainbow, let's put some background and foreground for that. For foreground, go to the rectangle tool, about that much, color a grass, and what I'm going to do to the grassland is just to make it a bit fuzzy. I go to right click on the layer, new layer, go to blurs and click on blur. So that will make the grass a bit fuzzy, not a sharp line. Aha! Now look what happened to the rainbow. That's gone blur as well. That's because you see the blur layer is above the rainbow layer as well. So what we do is group the blur layer and the grass layer, then the rainbow is clear again. Now for the sky, go to the rectangle tool again, and you see I'm not adding the outline layer because you don't need it for the sky. And then fill it. Now as you can see, the sky is covering everything because that is on top of the rainbow and our ground. So all you have to do is select the sky layer and use that up down arrow and bring it down. Now right click on the sky layer, go to new layer, add gradient and noise gradient, and you get that. Now go to the parameters of the gradient, noise gradient, and let's get a sky with decent colors. There. And now you can group the sky, the noise gradient, and the sky rectangle, and just group it and name it sky. Now to the sun, go to the circle tool and make a circle. And go to the parameters and then give the sun a color like that. Now just like the way you added a blur layer on top of the grassland, do one for the sun as well. New layer, blurs, blur. And if you think the sun is still sharp around the edges, go to the parameters of the blur layer and change the size till you get the right sun you want. And now to the rain. And as you can see, I put a tree there. You can put anything you want. And what I did was to make things easy and not getting bored for you, I took 3 screenshots. And if you see them, I have the sun in the middle, and I have a layer called scenery. That's got everything: the rainbow, the sky, the grassland, the tree, everything in there. And the rain. As you can see, it's only a noise gradient made up as a group on its own. Now all you have to do is set up the parameters of the noise gradient as this, and the parameters of the rain group as this. And that didn't take long, did it? Now all you have to do is animate. Okay, so now let's do the animation. Before I do the animation, as you can see, I put a blur layer on top of the rainbow, because as we already established, the rainbow is not going to be as clear as on a piece of paper. Okay, now we set up the keyframes. First one is at 0 seconds, 0 frame, and only the cloud is going to start moving from that time onwards. So if you see at the 0 frame, the rain, the opacity of the rain is 0 and the opacity of rainbow is 0. Now set up a keyframe at 5 seconds, which is 150, and another one at 10 seconds, which is 300. But I'm going to make some changes at 10 seconds. So if you see the 5 seconds keyframe, the rain opacity is still 0 and the rainbow still 0. But if you go to the 10-second mark, we can see the rain. I made the opacity 0.1. So that means the rain is started there, and by the time it reaches there is 0.1. And unless I change further, it's not going to go any more than 0.1. But the rainbow is still 0. And now I'm going to set up a keyframe at 15 seconds. And if you see, the rain is increasing now, because I started with 0.1 and it's 0.2 now, something like that. Now I'm going to leave it like that. Let the rain increase. And then now what I do is I go to 20-second mark, which is 600 frames, and make another keyframe, and now I go for the rainbow and make the opacity 1. So that means the rainbow is going to start appearing at 450 frames, and then we have the full rainbow by 600 frames. And I'm going to rain, and I'm going to make the opacity 0.3. Now all I have to do is render. So go to File, Render, say rainbow.avi, and target FFmpeg, and then render. Now you may have noticed two things. One, I never changed the standing green man to running red man, which is the animation mode, because I thought it will save the time rather than clicking while I do the tutorial. As the Blue Peter presenter say, that was one I made earlier, but what I said was exactly what I did during the animation. And two, I never said anything about the clouds moving either. All you have to do is, in animation mode, move the cloud from 0 seconds to the 30 seconds, from left to right, straight through. I then used Filmora and added some sound to that, and it looks something like this. And I hope you like the final product and a useful tutorial. Thank you very much, and I will be back with more tutorials. And please subscribe. Bye for now.